way. Let's start lying down. So just lie straight down onto your back. Not nap time exactly, but just, just to stretch out. So reach the arms up over your head if you've got the space. Stretch the legs forward. If you don't have the space, you could just catch your elbows. That's fine too. And just lengthen out. So stretch the arms back, reach the legs forward, just like you're trying to make yourself taller. And then with an exhale, hug both knees in towards your chest. So just hug those knees in towards you. And if you can, keep your neck long and your shoulders settling back towards the floor. And as you exhale, just hug the knees a little tighter towards you, so you might feel a little stretch into the lower back. That's fine. And now from here, reach your arms out to the side, bend at the elbows if you don't have a lot of space. That's a good trick. And as you exhale, drop your knees to the right for a nice easy twist. So the knees come over towards the ground to the right of you. Good. And then just try to breathe in such a way that you feel like you're stretching that left side rib cage open. So at the height of the inhale, you might even feel like you almost naturally want to come out of the twist a bit. And then you just really exhale and relax into the ground. So just giving your weight into the ground. And the next time you inhale, bring those knees back up towards center. And we're going to change sides. So exhale, drop your knees over to the left side this time, or the other side, whatever you were doing before. And this time, you're trying to send your breath into that right rib cage, even the right side of the waist and lower back. So as you inhale, really try to fill your lungs up. And as you exhale, just relax and let go into the ground. No gripping, no holding on, just surrendering. Good. And then next time you inhale, bring those knees back up towards center again. And exhale, just hug your knees back in towards your chest once again. Now from here, you're going to roll over onto your right side and press yourself up. We're going to come to hands and knees. So I'll call this all fours. Again, just clear some space. I'm not assuming you have a yoga mat or anything, so that's fine if you don't. So your hands are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. If your wrists aren't happy doing this, you could be on your fists instead. That's a fine alternative. Now as you exhale, just round your back. So you push your hands down and dome your shoulders, a cat stretch. And as you inhale, you lift the crown of your head and lift the tailbone. And just let your belly descend towards the floor. Nice, Molly, that's it. Nice, Fraser. Exhale, round your back again. Push down through the hands and knees. Again, inhale to lift up. See if you can find some movement into the shoulders too. They draw down your back. Nice, Polly. Exhale, round your back again. Inhale one more time, lift up. And exhale to round. This time, inhale to a neutral spine and bring your knees and your feet together. Now tuck your toes, so you curl your toes under, right? And then sit onto your heels with your toes tucked. Walk your hands back towards your knees. It's quite a big stretch for the toes and the soles of the feet. So if it's a little much, you can keep your hands on the floor. Otherwise, perhaps you bring your hands onto your thighs. Now interlace the fingers and turn the palms to face away from you. Stretch the heels of the hands forward and try to draw the little fingers and thumbs back towards you. Now keep that and lift the arms up towards the sky. So you're stretching the heels of the hands up. This is really great if you're typing a lot, writing a lot. You get really tight through the forearms and the wrists. This will prevent RSI, repetitive stress injury. Take another full breath there. And then with your exhale, release that. Bring your hands around behind you. We're nearly done on those feet, I know. Second interlace, so by that I mean the other little fingers on top, the other thumbs on bottom. And just draw the shoulders back and stretch the knuckles down towards the floor behind you. Squeeze the shoulders together and lift your chest. Just take another breath there. And then mindfully release your hands and bring the hands forward again. Wiggle the toes to set them free. That was intense, wasn't it? And as you exhale, round your back out again. Now from here, inhale, lift that right leg up in the air behind you. And as you exhale, just step the foot up between your hands. And if the foot gets stuck, use your right hand to yoink it up there. Now lunge forward and come up onto the front thigh. So hands onto the front thigh. If you feel it a little wobbly, bring your right foot further to the right. Now take a deep lunge forward. And as you lunge forward, just make sure the front heel's still on the ground. If it's not, you need to widen your stance, lengthen your stance. Now as you lunge forward, spin the left hip forward. So you get a big stretch into the front of that left hip. Also gets tight through sitting a lot. And from there, then reach your arms up over your head. Draw your shoulders down your back. And just lift your chest a little bit. Lift your face just that tiny, tiny bit, but keep your neck long. Nice, everybody. Take another breath there. Lunge a little deeper forward if you can. And as you inhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Now we're going to twist to the right. You're going to turn the chest round to the right and then reach your right arm up in the air. Now keeping this, just lunge the hips forward and turn round more through the middle ribs. Reach tall through that right arm. Just getting that movement, the mobility into the spine. Lovely. As you inhale, bring both hands back down to the floor and exhale, step back to all fours again. So those hands and knees. Good, so let's change sides. Your left leg floats up as you inhale, left leg, and step the foot up as you exhale. Help it forward with your left hand if it gets stuck. Come on up, bring your hands onto the front thigh. Lunge forward. Again, if you feel wobbly, left foot to the left will help you feel a bit steadier. Good, now as you lunge forward, spin the right hip forward and keep that bend forward so you get that stretch into the front of the right hip. Keep that, reach the arms up over your head. Stretch up through the fingertips. Reach so high that it feels like you're trying to lengthen the sides of your waistline. And as you keep that lift and lengthen, then you just lunge that little deeper forward. Good. One more breath there. As you inhale, bring both hands down to the floor again. Here's that twist to the left. So exhale, turn around towards the left, and then just reach your left arm up. But keep lunging the hips forward. Drop the pelvis towards the floor. Good. Turn around through the middle ribs. Reach like crazy up through that left arm. You're looking straight over to the left side of the room. You don't have to see the ceiling. Excellent, guys. One more breath. Inhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Exhale, step back to all fours again. Good. And then just round your back for cat stretch one more time. Now from here, inhale to a neutral spine. We're going to step the left foot to the left if you have the space. So left leg out to the left. But check it out. The left toes are pointing straight ahead and the outer foot's really pressing down into the ground. Now staying with that, come on up. So you're on your right knee and your left foot. You got it. Left hand on your left leg. Reach the right arm up and take a gentle little side stretch. So your left hand just starts to slide down the leg and the right arm reaches up and over. Imagine you're pushing your right knee into the floor. So you might feel that stretch into the outer right waist. And again, you're trying to send that breath almost sideways into that right rib cage. Excellent. One more breath. As you inhale, come on up. Exhale, both hands come down. Release the left knee and we'll change sides. So the right leg to the right. Place the foot. Toes point straight ahead and the outer foot's grounding down. And then come on up. So you're on your left knee and your right foot. Good. Right hand on your leg. Reach the left arm up. Big inhale. And as you exhale, side stretch. Slide the right hand down your leg. Good. Reach the left arm up and over, but the up part too. So you're trying to almost lift the rib cage taller as you then side stretch right. One more breath. Push your left knee into the ground. And then inhale, come back up. Well done. Exhale, both hands come down and step the right knee down. Now we'll just try. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, downward facing dog. And I know if you're not on a mat, sometimes this can feel a little slidey, but just pad out the heels. It's just such a good one for invigorating through the shoulders, stretching out through the legs. Taking a really full breath there. And then from here, inhale, glide forward to the top of a press up, plank pose. Arms are straight. Might need to walk your feet back a bit. Good. Take a full breath in, drop your knees, and as you breathe out, lie down. Great. So many of you just disappeared. Point the toes back. Come up onto your forearms. Sphinx pose. One of my teachers called this TV watching pose. So you push the elbows down, lift the crown of the head up. Really big opening into the upper back. It's like the opposite of what we often do curled over a computer or a smartphone. So as you push the elbows down, the crown lifts, the chest pulls forward. There should be no pain in your lower back. If there's pain in your lower back, slide your elbows further forward. It will lessen the intensity. Good. One more breath. And then as you exhale, just lie down. Now, use your right forearm under your forehead like a little forehead pillow. Bend up your left knee and catch your left foot with your left hand. If you can't catch the foot, you might just grab your trouser leg. That's fine. Now, draw the heel in towards your bum and press the front of the pelvis into the floor. So a big old stretch through the front of the left thigh. Breathe. Try to send nourishing, relaxing breath as though down, like you could breathe into that left thigh if that was possible. Take another breath as you are. And then mindfully release the left leg and we'll swap. So now it's the left forearm forehead pillow. Bend up your right knee, catch the right foot or your trouser leg, whatever you can. Good. And as you draw the heel into your bum, press the front of the pelvis down into the floor. Try to feel the pubic bone anchor, the front of the right hip anchor. And as you draw the heel in, just send breath down into that right thigh. Like your inhale, you could get more length into the front leg. And the exhale, you could keep the length and draw the heel a little tighter in. And then mindfully release that foot and bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, come on up to all fours, your hands in your knees again. And exhale, just round your back again, cat stretch. Now inhale to a neutral spine. Tuck the toes again like we did before. Exhale, lift your knees to downward facing dog. And just take one breath there, stretch it back. And from there, as you inhale, walk your feet up towards your hands or your hands towards your feet or a combination of both if you like. And when you get there, just catch the elbows and hang, but keep your knees bent. Imagine the head and the forearms were really heavy. And as they dangle down towards the ground, you create that traction and release through the spinal column. Next time you exhale, just drop the arms and inhale, just roll up through the spine. Gaze down till you're all the way up. So your head stays heavy. And when you come up, those shoulders roll back. Your head lifts very last of all. You stand up taller than you ever stand and fold your hands to prayer in front of your heart. Good. Just take a breath. Just feel your feet really anchor into the floor. We often take the feet for granted, so try to really spread the toes, press the feet down, lift the crown of the head a little taller up, and subtly draw the shoulders back so the center chest can lift up towards the prayer that your hands are making. And just take a breath, using your exhale to relax. Good. And then from here, as you inhale, I'm just going to turn to face you. Reach the arms out and up towards the sky. Catch a hold of your left wrist, rise up tall, and as you exhale, take a really easy side stretch to the right. So it's almost like you're trying to pull your left arm up and over your head as you really push down through the left foot, but try to keep square towards the front. Good. As you inhale, come up, catch the right wrist, rise up tall, you got it. Exhale, a little side stretch towards the left. Keep square forward. Press down through that right foot. Tug on that right arm a little more. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale, release your hands. Now bring your hands to the top of your bum, not your lower back, lower than that. And draw your shoulders back like you're trying to hide your arms behind your chest. Now the elbows squeeze in. You lengthen your bum down towards your heels and then lift your chest upwards. So if I turn to the sides, really trying to lift up like a high jumper. You might start to lift your gaze like you want to see the ceiling, but don't drop your head back. As you lift your chest, squeeze the shoulders back, squeeze the elbows towards one another, and try to feel those frontal hips that we worked in the lunge earlier get long as you lift the sternum, the breastbone, a little higher up. One more inhale, and come on back to center. Exhale. Good. Bring your hands back to prayer. Lovely. Now from here, inhale, reach the arms out and up towards the sky. And as you exhale, dive all the way down. So your hands are going to come to the floor. You can bend your knees as much as you need to make that so. Inhale, draw the chest forward so you get really long through your spine. And as you exhale, step back to that downward dog again. Place your hands down, step the feet back. Just take a breath there, stretch the thighs back. And then as you inhale, drop down to your knees and exhale, child's pose. So you sit onto your heels and you rest your forehead on something. If it's not the floor, you could stack your forearms to make a little forehead pillow. And just like when we were trying to send breath into the sides of the ribs, now try to send breath into the back body, almost like you were sort of spreading your wings in the middle of your back with your inhale. And just relaxing into the pose with the exhale. See how your lower back responds to this shape. And just take one more breath just as you are. And then from here, as you inhale, just come forward one more time to all fours. Only this time we're going to come to sit down. So move your legs out the way and sit your bum down. And straighten your legs forward. Good. So now cross at your shins like you're in a seated cross-legged position. If this bugs your knees or just feels too much on your hips, you can shift what your legs are doing around to make it not bother your knees and your hips. So hands alongside you and sit up nice and tall. So try to feel that you're lifting the crown of your head up away from the tailbone. Now all that length you've got, try to keep it as you dive your chest forward and down, but really get the forward bit. You'll start to feel this stretch through the outer hips and buttocks. You could keep your hands as they are or bring your hands forward on the floor. If you're quite open like this, you could just lie your forehead down. But remember, no discomfort in your knees. And if it's a stretch that's so intense that it's making you feel stressed out, then come on out of it a bit and make it a softening, not an intensifying. Just one more breath, just easing those hips open. Lovely. And then as you inhale, you pad your way back up. We'll keep the legs, but we'll add a little side stretch. So that right hand on your side, reach the left arm up. And as you exhale, side stretch like we did standing. So you creep the right hand away, the left arm reaches up and over your head. Push down through the left sit bone as you reach a little more through the left fingertips. Good. And as you inhale, come on up. As you exhale, change sides. So inhale, right arm up, lovely. Exhale, side stretch. So creep the left hand away to create some space. Good. If you got the space, reach the right arm up and over your head. Push that right sitting bone into the floor. Yeah, lean the head back just a little bit so your neck's in line with your spine. Good. One more breath as you are. And inhale, come on up. Exhale, both hands come down. So check out which shin is in front. You're going to change so the other shin's on front. Usually that feels a little weird because we usually only sit with one side, but it's nice to be even through those hips. So sit up tall as you inhale, lengthen. Keep the length as you exhale and start to hinge your chest forward and down. Remember, you don't want it too intense and you don't want pain in your hips or your knees. So learning that difference between the stretch sensation and the pain sensation. So just breathing as though the breath could travel down the spine towards the outer hips, the outer buttocks. Just creating that bit more ease into the outer hips. Now, next time you inhale, we'll pad back up again. And instead of the side stretch, we're going to do a twist this time round. So your left hand catches your right knee. Your right hand, good, comes behind you. Sit up tall as you inhale and then start to twist round as you exhale. But turn the belly and turn the rib cage. You don't have to yank your head round as much. So it's the middle of the ribs that you're really trying to turn round. And yes, your left hand can help tug on the knee a bit to help you twist, but you don't want that to create tension in your left shoulder, and you don't want to be lifting that right leg towards you. Just let the thighs relax. Take another breath. As you exhale, you might twist a little more and creep that right hand, the one on the floor behind you, further round. And then inhale, glide on back to center. Stay there, just exhale. Good, we're going to change sides. So right hand holds your left knee, left hand behind you. Good, sit tall as you inhale and twist round as you exhale. Turn the belly, turn the rib cage. Don't have to yank your neck round. Especially if you're right-handed, that right shoulder might be on default stressed out mode. So keep the right shoulder soft. Keep the thighs relaxing downwards. And as you turn, you might even hop that left hand a little further round behind you so you can lengthen that left collarbone a little bit more. And then as you inhale, glide on back to center. Stay at center, just exhale. Good, so slide the knees further apart so the soles of the feet can come together, the knees out. Doesn't matter how high up the knees are, honestly. Hold onto your ankles and just try to sit up tall on the fronts of the sit bones. So it's almost like the pubic bone's trying to draw down towards the floor. Now at the same time, nice Emily, the same time as you do that, just let the thighs relax downwards. You don't have to push them, just let them relax. As you inhale, sit taller, and as you exhale, try to keep the height. Just start to hinge yourself forward. Doesn't have to be far. You might move 2 inches and that's your stretch, that's fine. You might move a little further in, but without stress or tension. Maybe your elbows, if they're in contact with your inner thighs, can so subtly and gently anchor the thighs as though a little further downwards. But break the habit of bullying the body and just allow for the patience and the humility, the kindness towards the self. Take one more full breath as you are. Make it a really good one. Good. And then as you inhale, come all the way back up to center. Lovely. Now use your hands to help you to exhale, bend up the knees, and then just straighten the legs forward. So flex the feet. So there's some life in the legs. You're not going to just let the legs flop out. Legs stay somewhat active. Bring the hands a bit behind you alongside the hips and draw the shoulders back. Good. Now lift your chest up as you inhale. That might already be your stretch, so you might stay there. Or as you exhale, you just start to hinge forward, kind of like a ski jumper. You're trying to keep your spine pretty long and extended. When you're in the depth of the stretch you want to stay at, maybe your hands transition and you grab your shins, your ankles, or your feet. But if you grab your feet and that means your shoulders are being worn as earrings, just keep the shoulders away from the ears so there's space into the sides of the neck. And then whenever you're there and you're happy, use your inhales, get a little bit more length and space, and use your exhales, fold that little tiny bit more. Maybe 2 more breaths here, just getting the back body to stretch, getting the backs of the legs to stretch. And then as you inhale, you just glide back up to center again. Good. So scoot your way forward a bit if you need to, so there's space behind you. We're just gonna roll on down to come to lie down, and start just with your knees bent, your feet on the floor for a moment. And shuffle your spine a little longer. So by that I mean draw the crown of the head further back. Your chin will descend towards your chest and the neck will lengthen. And at the same time, see if you can just gently stretch the tailbone forward towards your heels. Settle the shoulder blades into the floor, and then release the arms down alongside of you. But turn the arms so the palms face up. And you don't want the arms too close in, so you don't want the armpits to be closed off. You want a bit of space. So if you've got the space around you, arms a little wider will give you that extra ease into the lungs and the rib cage. Now, if your back is at all sensitive, keep your knees bent. If your back's pretty happy now, start to straighten the legs forward. Final relaxation. And this is such an important pose always, but especially now that the world's so crazy and we're so full of anxiety, apprehension. So something that we very rarely do is just be present. We tend to be mulling over the past or fast forwarding to the future. So in this moment, just be here as much as you can. So acknowledge how your body feels. Try to feel the sensation of breath as it travels in and out. And without any judgment or expectation, just acknowledge what's going on within you, the thoughts that come in, their content, their general vibe. There's no right or wrong. There's just the mindfulness of witnessing yourself in the here and now. So see if there's somewhere in your body that's gripping that you can just invite more softness to. Just that process of unpacking and relaxing downwards into the ground. And then when the mind wanders and when the thoughts come in, just witness them as thoughts. And come back to the breath and to the sensation in the body that anchors you in this moment. And before you consider moving or shifting anything around, just consider if you might maintain the connection to this internal state of presence, awareness, and peace as you start to move and then as you start to go about the rest of your day. So just take a couple of deeper, fuller breaths. Even now, as you're just working to signal to your body that it's all okay and that the stress release can just stop or at least be turned down. And then the next time you inhale, reach your arms up over your head, stretch the legs forward, just like how we started today. Remember, if you don't have the space, just grab at your elbows, save space a bit, and just see where you feel like you've worked, where you feel you've opened a bit more. And with your exhale, just bend your knees if they're not already, feet on the ground, and take your time. You're going to roll over to your side so you don't shock yourself by popping up, and push a hand into the floor to come up. And then you're going to make your way to come to sit. And just rest your hands on your thighs, palms face down. And sit up as tall as you can through your spine, as though the crown of the head's just trying to push 2 inches further upwards. But even as you make the effort to sit tall, just relax the body, soften your edges. Relax your jaw and your tongue, your eyes and your eyebrows. And almost like you're just taking a little mental snapshot of yourself in this moment, a little bit unstuck, a little bit more free in body, mind, and spirit. Now fold your hands to prayer in front of your heart and just bow your head. Just taking a moment to thank yourself for putting aside this time. And if throughout the rest of the day anything feels a little stressful, just closing your eyes, taking one breath, and just coming back to this state, reconnecting. So together as a community, let's take a nice full long breath in and out through the mouth. And then softly open the eyes and raise the head. Thank you so much. Well done, you guys.